Hello viewers, welcome back to Ohio Airgun Shooter. Here I have my Springfield Armory M1A from Air Venturi. It's a 22 caliber underlever spring piston air rifle. It's made in China. It has a wood stock and is also constructed of a mixture of some plastic and steel. The top part here is plastic. The rear part here with the peep sight is plastic. The front end muzzle supposed to simulate a flash suppressor, and front sight is plastic, but it has a really nice wood stock. If you see my previous video, I kind of went over it. I was kind of fanboying it a little bit, just kind of getting excited. Just a little overexcited because of how nice the stock looked, but haven't tested it yet. I went around, tightened all the screws, ran a few dry patches through the barrel. It was fairly dirty, not a lot of oil or anything in there, so I just want to do some initial crony testing. Haven't tested it yet, so I have no idea if it's even functioning, if it will work fine, but we're going to do that today, just inside here, get some velocities. Can't go outside. It's been raining all day. I mean, it started raining yesterday, probably early afternoon, and it's been going all night into today. So it's pretty much a washout for anything outside. My backyard's basically a swamp, but doesn't mean we can't do anything inside. So that's what we're going to do today. So stay tuned, and I'll get the chronograph set up, and we'll test some pellets. Now in 22 caliber, it does have a claimed velocity of up to 800 feet per second. In 22 caliber, I believe that's probably with right around a 7 grain or so pellet. Here's your cocking effort, 35 pounds. That probably lightens up if, depending on how extended you have that underlever cocking arm. It does extend further out. I like it the way it is. And here's the specifications. Again, spring piston, not a gas piston, which I prefer spring pistons. So let me get the chronograph set up, and we'll go ahead and test some pellets. I'll go ahead and test 2 pellets today. We'll start with the 14 grain RWS Maestro Kugeln. These are very good wad cutter flat nose style pellet. And then I have these H&N Barracuda 15. They're actually 15.89, so they're about the same weight as your JSB Exact in 15 grain as well. I have some of those from JSB, and they are also 15.89, so we'll test both of these. Now we'll probably get some dieseling, probably initial dieseling due to factory oils maybe inside the chamber there. I haven't applied any RWS chamber lube at all. Just I want to get this. If there's anything in there, I want to get it out of there first, and then go ahead and put a few drops in there. Haven't done anything with the spring, no any type of tar or anything like that. So everything is just out of the box as it is. So we'll see if it's functioning and shooting okay. Still have time to send it back if anything's wrong with it. So let's go ahead and test it. Now the first couple shots, I'm just begin with these 18 grain, 18.21 grain Cro-Magnums. I like to use these when I shoot in a rifle out of the box. They help control some of the excessive dieseling detonation you might have, so it kind of slows everything down. So we'll go ahead and use these. All right, this thing is heavy. All right, it does have a manual safety. Out is safe, in is shoot. We'll put it on safe to cock it. Actually, cocking Everett isn't that bad with just the short the short part of the cocking arm here. Again, you can extend it out, but no need. Here's a loading port. I haven't had anything like this since my RWS Model 52, which was 25 caliber, but it was a side lever. This thing definitely could use some lube, but we're just going to do it out of the box. Again, I just want to get the any initial eternal oils out of it. But all the screws are tight. Yeah, these are just a little finicky to load. Let me try with my right hand here. Should hold on to this, even though I think it has the anti-bear trap. Not a lot of room to get these in there. There we go. Make sure we're going the right way with this, but yeah, okay. All right, yeah, just goes in there with a little force. And then you just gotta bring this little button down to bring the caulking arm back up. So a little bit of a grind, but not too bad. The initial, when I brought it down, wasn't too bad at all. So let's see what kind of velocity we're getting. These are Cro-Magnums, 18.21. Yeah, I just like to use the heavier pellet when I'm breaking an air rifle, so at least to help get the oils out of it. So this might be a pretty loud crack. We'll see. Yeah, 899.5. Yeah, that one had a little oomph behind it. Almost 900 feet per second. Holy crap. All right, let's try another one. Yeah, there's no grind. You just hear the spring compressing pretty much. So it sounds like. So not bad at all, but definitely some factory oils in there to hit that 899. And that's with a 21 point or 18.21 grain pellet. So, all right, button down, back up. There you go. That's better. 671.8. That's more like it. Yeah, that 899 was ridiculous. All right, let's see what this one is. We'll do 5. You can smell the smoke. 669.4. Yeah, that's much better. It's still pretty good with an 18.21 grain pellet. Again, the H&N Cro-Magnums. All right. 671.5. So that's probably good. It seems to settle down after that first shot. So let's move to the other pellets that I was going to try. All right, next up, the lighter 14 grain Maestro Kulgan from RWS. I did the math for the 899.5, 32.72 foot-pounds of energy. That was pretty good there. It had a little extra behind it. Once it dropped down to the 671.8, I mean, still 18.8 foot-pounds of energy with the 18.21 grain Cro-Magnum. So those definitely help your foot-pound energy using these heavier Cro-Magnums. So, man, if I would have started out with one of these, I bet we would have been over 1,000 feet per second. All right. Yeah, the caulking's pretty smooth. Like I say, all I hear is pretty much is the spring compressing. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I kind of stayed away from the side levers. I mean, I did buy that one RWS Diana, but yeah, it's just these are hard to load, so I prefer brake barrels. I mean, something like this, just take your time loading. But all right, yeah, that one went in a little easier than the Cro-Magnon, so this one's probably going to have a little little more velocity. So we'll do 5 of these. I'll get these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, yeah, these are just a wad cutter, so right around probably like a 10-yard pellet. All right. .787.8, so right there near the 800. Now, I did notice when you shoot it, this does have a tendency to come out a little bit. But yeah, it's really not that bad without it extended. So, let me get this one back in there. Yeah, that one just fell out. There we go. We'll need to get a pellet pen or something, but I don't know if you could even get in there with that at the angle. So there we go. Yeah, a little finicky. All right. Yeah, definitely something you want to take your time with. All right, we're locked. I think we're locked. All right. Shot number 2. .786.2. Just not a lot of room. I think I had a little bit more room with the Model 48s and 52s and 54s. Just, yeah, you don't have hardly any room right here. But I think it was a lot wider. Imagine trying to stick a little 177 in there. That's kind of why I went with the 22, just a little bit more lead, a little something to hold on to, trying to stick it in there. .782.4. So right there near the 800 with these. There's 7.33, so I bet with like a hobby or something, which is right around 7, I bet you'll hit that 800. .788.1. All right, last but not least, shot number 5. I'm gonna get in there. Yeah, brake barrel's so much easier to load. There we go. All right. Wow, 790.7. So near the 800 with the 14 grain pellets. So not too bad. All right, let's try a 15.89. All right, next up, the Barracuda 15 H&N, 15.89 grain. All right, next up, the H&N Barracuda 15, 15.89 grain. In that last segment, I kind of mentioned the RWS Hobby at 7 grain. For some reason, I was thinking .177 caliber. The lightest thing I have in 22 in lead are the Beeman Silver Bear. Where are those at? Got some of those left. We'll try those after this. They're like 12.65 grain. So they're the lightest thing I have. They were made by H&N. They no longer make them. But we'll test a few of those out after this. Again, we'll do 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're rolling everywhere. All right. Oh yeah. Did the math on those, and at the 790.7 feet per second, 19.44 foot-pounds. So everything was right around 19 foot-pounds. That's just with a 14 grain pellet. So 15.89 grain. $716.2. Remember to hold on to the caulking arm. I was kind of letting it go there for a little bit just because I was trying to get the good angle to load the pellets. Now these are going in really nice. That being that dome shaped, a lot easier to load than a flat nose. And the Cro-Magnums are like a hollow point, so they're a little bit harder to load, but these seem to be going on a lot easier, being that they're rounded. $713.8. Look at the, I don't know if you can see it, the smoke coming out of there. Still some oils in there. Plus the heat just from the friction. Alright. I'll drop a couple drops of RWS chamber lube in there when I'm done here, and maybe do some other things. $720.3. I think I got 2 more shots left. Pulled out 5, but I'm pulling from the 10, so I lost count. So we'll do 2 more. Yeah, it's still smoking pretty good. $710.7. Yeah, it's still smoking pretty good. Whew. All right, last one. All right. $718.1. So right in the 7 and teens, 710 with the 15.89 grain, 15 grain Barracuda from H&N. I just dropped the pellets in the shag carpet. I'll have to find those. If I can't, the vacuum cleaner will get them. But all right, let's try some of those lighter Silver Bears real quick. Here are the Beeman Silver Bear, 12.65 grains. Again, they were made by H&N. They say they no longer produce these. So if you're listening, H&N, can you make some of these again? I mean, my Daisy Powerline model 822 and 22 caliber, love these. They help boost the velocity a bit and a little bit more energy foot-pound wise. So yeah, if you can make these again, please do so. A lot of my lower powered air rifles love them. So let's see how they do in a spring piston underlever. Yeah, if I would have tested these out first, that first shot, these might have been close to that 1,000. So I'll do a couple of these. I don't have very many left. I want to save them for my Daisy. I mean, unless somebody sells them under another name, something similar, but yeah, they're kind of hard to load as well because they're kind of a hollow point wad cutter hybrid. Let me see. There, I got it in there. I'll show you. Here's the, you can see that there. Like, again, like a wad cutter hollow point kind of mash up hybrid there. But they work really well. My Daisy Powerline model 822. It's that single action, it's a single shot with that little, it has a small kind of a narrow loading breech, and I can roll them in really easily and they drop right in perfectly. So, and again, they help with the FPS. All right, let's see what these do. You can see my chronograph down there. All right. 817.5. Yeah, I'm thinking that first shot would have been definitely into the 900s, probably close to 1,000, with something lighter than the 18 grain. So do a couple more. Yeah, the thing is still smoking. Keep forgetting to push this lever down. It's kind of in a bad spot. I think my RWS is a little higher up. It was easier to do because you can have your hand here and just your hand's already there, so you can hit it with your thumb and then bring it right up. Here you got to go clear to the back. 813. We'll do one more. Again, I'm getting low and I want to save these. They're going pretty easily. 811.9. So definitely into the 800s with the 12.65 grain lead pellet. So out of the box, we're right there in that 800 up to 800 feet per second range. Went over with a heavier 18.21 grain with that first shot. Again, 899.5 feet per second. 32.72 foot-pounds of energy. Very good numbers. Seems to be just fine. Definitely needs some lubrication. I can hear it. It started to get a little, as I cock it, I could kind of hear a little bit of the, I don't know, it was a grind, but some of it sounded like this plastic piece maybe rubbing on the wood here. But the internal sounds pretty good. But I'm going to drop a little RWS chamber lube in the chamber there. I think it recommends like a drop or two every like 800 to 1,000 shots. Maybe scrub the barrel. I did just run a dry patch through it. I do want to get some, it's not tar, but Pyramid Air sells it. It's called a tune in a lube, I think, or a lube in a tube. Was it tune in a tube? And it's got pretty good reviews. You gotta just kind of take your action off, and just kind of, it's like a squeeze tube. You just kind of, with like a syringe, and I think you just work it into the spring area. So I might try some of that. But hey, initially it seems to be operating, functioning just fine. Velocities are good, actually pretty steady. With the 14 grain Meisterkugels, you know, 780s, low 788 or 782.4 to 790.7 in that range. And then the what, five teens or whatever with the Barracudas, the 15.89 grain. So not too bad. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll get this out and do some accuracy testing as well. But I just wanted to get some initial function testing and just see what the velocities were. Again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.